Oh my God, I haven't seen a picture of her in so long. That's the face I remember. I hope her soul's at peace. Please, God, let her soul be at peace. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You trusted my mom. You trusted me. We put you in just a bad place. I'm so sorry. I'm sure there's a part of her that felt I would protect her. I failed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
My entire idea of what happened is just mud now. It's just chaos. I mean, I know that my mother's not innocent in this whole mess. It was such a confusing time. Such a confusing time. I didn't know really what to believe. I thought that she was taken over by this man. That's what I used to believe in my head. And it wasn't her that was the murderer. I believe she was taken advantage of. I'm always going to be wondering why. Always. And I really, still to this day, wish I did something. I wish I did something. I ask for forgiveness every night. Every night. This is one of my favorite pictures of my mom. She does look happy-go-lucky. This is her best picture. It just so happens it's in the worst place. And the worst time. She looks pretty okay for having somebody almost dead in the apartment. Yeah, when I think about that, it's hard. I feel numb. There was torture in this house. I know she did everything wrong. I know it. But I still love her. It's my mama. This is a picture of my mom, about 10 years old, in her house at Christmas time. She seemed happy here, didn't she? But my mom's upbringing was a hard one. She just didn't feel very loved. Her parents used to tell her that she was ugly. She'd never amount to anything. My mom was just always searching for love because she didn't get it from her parents. My mom was raped when she was in her early 20s. She was going to get an abortion, but decided, not to. She decided she wanted to keep me. She was so needing something to love and love her back. It took her to a bad place. I mean, in the end, it was the worst place. Before any of this happened, my mom was a single mom trying to raise me as best as she could. My mom never laid a hand on me, ever, even though I was a rotten child.
Good morning.
Oh, God, what the hell are you doing here?
From what I remember, my mom's only friend would have been Mary. I would say nasty things to Mary all the time.
Just ignore her. Come and have some breakfast with us.
My mom would say, oh, she's just a kid. She didn't tell me, don't speak that way to people, don't do this, don't do that. It was more like, it's all right, it's not that bad. She never reprimanded me. If she would have given me rules or punished me, I may have been mad at her. And I think that's the last thing she wanted, was for me to be mad at her. She just wanted me to love her. She was looking for love in every way she could. She went crazy because of it, because of her need for that love. I lived in a community where there were a lot of single parents, so it really wasn't out of the ordinary for there not to be a dad in the picture. I remember I was 9 years old and we were watching TV, my mother and I turned around and I said to my mom, "Who's my dad?"
That's him.
And Billy Joel was on TV and she said, "He's your dad." And I said, "He's my dad?" And she said, "Yeah, that's why you can sing."
Are you serious?
She said when she was younger that she had an affair with Billy Joel, which resulted in me. I said, "Oh my God, Billy Joel's my father? This is fantastic."
This is amazing.
My mom even said that Billy Joel's hit song, Big Shot, was about her. She's like, "Don't tell anybody." And I was like, okay.
People treat you differently.
I believed what my mom said. I wouldn't have thought twice. If she says it's a secret, then it's a secret. Billy Joel obviously wasn't my father. My mom was very good at creating fantasy worlds. I think her making that fantasy world is just a way of, feeling loved, feeling included, and, making me feel special all at once. When I was 11, we had a great group of neighborhood friends. Our house was the type of house that everybody came over. I can remember standing around the kitchen table, all my friends around the table and us singing songs to the top of our lungs, just screaming songs out. It was just so fun. Anybody was always welcome to stay at our house. Teresa had no parents at all. She did have an elderly grandmother. My mom, she saw that Teresa didn't have a loving family and a loving home, and she wanted to give that to her. Harriet was staying with us. Her parents had issues or what have you, and she wanted to give Harriet a loving home. My friend Louis had a great family. Louis didn't come from a broken family at all. That's the summer that I met Ricky. I was 11 and he was 14. He was very good looking, looked like a grown man. I do remember saying to her, "Mom, we're in love." We dated for a little bit and all of a sudden he was getting very, "I don't want you to do this," very controlling.
What's your problem?
You're acting like a child.
And I was like, well, that's not happening. So we got into a fight. He broke up with me. Fine, who cares? I was out hanging with my friends. A lot of these kids would come by us because their parents were strict or what have you, and my mom was always like welcoming. She would scoop them up and put them under her wing. I know she loved that. She loved being a mom. She really did. And she was super, super caring until she wasn't.
So I want to ask you a question that I think might be hard to hear.
Okay.
There were some reports that your mom's intentions were not necessarily pure, that it wasn't just to have the kids over, that she was kind of luring them.
I know a lot of people thought that my mom was grooming these children, but she absolutely was not. She wanted me to be the happiest person that I could be. And I can see where if you didn't know her past, I could see where you could say that she was grooming these kids, but this is just who she was. And then she met Ricky and something changed. A switch went off. And these poor kids were, taken advantage of. How horrible for you to trust somebody and love somebody so much. And then they take that trust and love and just use it against you. It's just, that's evil. It's evil. My mom was pretty great. I know I keep saying that, but to this day, I'm not sure what switch went off. She was wonderful, and then she was not. Like overnight. When Ricky came along, everything changed. Ricky started sleeping over on the couch. He ran away from home, which was maybe 6 blocks away. There's another, bird with a broken wing who needs, a place to stay. Eventually, Ricky moved into the room with my mom. My mom had told me it was because the couch was very uncomfortable. I was young, so I'm not even sure that I was aware that a relationship was happening, even at that point. If you ask me my feelings on it, normally you'd think that I'd lose my mind. Oh my God, my boyfriend is going with my mom. I didn't feel that way. I'm not sure if I ever wanted to know about their relationship. I don't know how that happened at all. It just all of a sudden was happening.
So this is your mother speaking to detectives about essentially how she was able to start the relationship that she was having with Ricky. She got him into her bed by saying that she suffered from the epilepsy. He began sleeping with her to help her if she got one of these spells. She was attracted to the young man sexually, and she told him this. And that at first he, resisted her advances, but then she made the statement to him, well, I have my needs, and if they can't be met, then I have to go somewhere else. And rather than her go somewhere else, they began to have sexual relations.
I don't know what to think about this. He could just leave. Go home. Go home.
I think that it looked very much to you like he was initiating. And when I read this, it said to me that I'm not sure he did.
But he felt pressured. I can see where you can be threatened, I guess, into having sex with somebody. This is all really weird. Ricky had very loving parents who cared about him. The parents were looking for him. That's the problem that keeps me from believing this fully. Being there, he appeared willing. But I should have said something. Maybe she would have thought twice. Maybe she would have broken up with this man or gotten rid of this guy. And
this kid, and he was a kid.
He was a kid, yeah. I'd be sitting just at the kitchen table and the phone would ring and my mother would pick it up. She'd listen.
Hello?
Okay, I understand. Hang up the phone and then say, Billy called. Everybody in the house believed that the phone call was from Billy Joel. My mom said that Billy called because things needed to be taken care of. Billy was a mob boss. He was in the mafia. My mom would get instructions from Billy to tell us who had chores. I didn't have any chores.
What did he say?
Teresa, you're in the bathrooms. Harriet, you're doing the dusting.
What about me?
Billy didn't say you had to do anything.
I am out the door. I'm just going to go play with my friends. If they didn't do the chores correctly or in a certain kind of time frame, Ricky was to enforce the beatings. She was so convincing that it was hard not to believe what she was saying. Later on, I found out about her little tricks from working at the phone company, and she would make that phone ring. There wasn't anybody on the end of that line. She was making this person up to everybody else. And why? Why were you doing that? There was definitely a lot that went on in that house that I was not aware of. That was all behind closed doors, what these punishments were and what have you.
This is Ricky. He's on the stand, and the prosecutor is speaking with him. How often did these phone calls come into the house from this point on? A couple of times a day, every time, like a chore or a punishment went on. He told me to go into Tammy's bedroom, and I would find something to do the punishment with. So I did, and I found a bat.
I don't think I knew what these chores were that they had to do. So I guess I feel like I removed myself each time that phone call would happen. It was like I could go and come whenever I pleased. So to be honest, I hate to say it, but that's what it was. I was just selfish, and there was no empathy in me at that time. I was just a selfish little girl, only worried about myself. And if it didn't involve me, then I'm out. I'm leaving. There was one day where Ricky came into my room. He put thumb cuffs on my thumbs. He put thumb cuffs on my toes. They are these handcuffs, but tiny enough to put around your thumbs. Like little tiny handcuffs.
Get these off of me right now!
He closed the door, he locked the door, and I was stuck there.
Where are you going? Come back! Somebody help!
I started hearing Louis, Harriet, no, please don't do this. You have to do this.
Stop! Why are you doing this?
You're doing it.
Please don't! Stop!
I start freaking out, saying, what's happening out there, trying to get out of my thumb cuffs. So I couldn't get out of these thumb cuffs.
Get these off! Get these off!
I could hear them saying, no, please, no, crying. My thumbs now were raw from trying to wiggle my way out of these thumb cuffs. Eventually, the door opened. Ricky came in with my mother trailing behind him. The whole time I'm cursing at him. Take these off, take these off. He finally took these things off. I learned later that my mom and Ricky were forcing Louis and Harriet to eat cat. Just became something that was out of control. Whatever this was that was happening, this torturing, it was crazy. I can't even imagine the other things that were happening. But I had more resentment towards Ricky. I wasn't happy with my mom, but the resentment was towards Ricky. Ricky seemed like he was getting a kick out of it.
So there was testimony that they were told that there were cameras. Ricky believed he was being watched. He believed that if he kind of came up with his own punishments, got creative, that made him look good in Billy's eyes.
I see. I see.
Does that make you feel any different about what you witnessed?
No. Even though I have this new information, it doesn't make me feel any differently about Ricky. It looked as if he enjoyed it. But I think that I could understand his position in this fantasy world that was being created. It seems like day by day, I could see him being afraid. I could see all the kids being afraid. My understanding as to why they didn't leave is they were frightened for their lives. That's probably one of the scare tactics as well. Billy's in the mafia, and if you tell anybody outside of this little group that we have here, we're gonna hurt people. They were being told if you say anything or if you don't come back, we're gonna hurt your family.
I want to read you something. So this is a court document from Louis. Did you ever try to do anything to yourself, Louis? I tried to kill myself. When? While I was going there, I was just tired of all the beating and everything that happened to me. And a phone call came. And Billy said to Marie that if I kill myself, it won't matter because my family would still be killed. So that's what stopped me from doing it.
Wow. I had no idea. Wow. Wow. Oh, Louis. I feel horrible. I feel horrible for him. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry did any of that happen to you. I'm just so sorry. I'm sure they hate me. I was the one living my life, running outside, playing with my friends while they were being tortured.
Well, let's not forget also, you're a kid. You were a child.
I was a child. I mean, the stuff that I read and heard after the fact was just shocking. It was just shocking. To this day, I'm just like, what? What? The phone calls eventually stopped. And then my mother started becoming Billy. My mom would put her hands over her face and kind of just sit like this, give it a couple minutes, and then up, already the attitude, the anger, the nastiness. It was almost like she had a different voice. Everything about her changed. Her demeanor changed. Her look on her face changed. She was meaner. She was nasty. She was completely the opposite of who she was normally.
I am sick and tired of you filthy, disgusting creatures.
This thing took her over completely.
We're gonna teach you how to behave.
Teresa and Lewis and Harriet, we were all just in shock about this big switch. Her fantasy world absolutely allowed her to escape from the atrocities that she was doing to these kids. I can remember my mom telling me that I let Harriet go, that she had something to do with her escape.
Harriet tried to escape a number of times.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
This is a summary from the prosecutor's opening statement. When Harriet ran away, the Elmwood Park police found her walking around on Route 46. She didn't have any shoes on. She wouldn't give the name of who was doing this. She ran for her life, and she's alive today because she got out of that house.
Good for you, Harriet. Good for you. I believed that my mother helped Harriet escape when she told me that she did. But it doesn't look that way. Especially if Harriet tried multiple times.
She gave an address, and they went to Marie's house. They found a very clear-speaking, eloquent person in Marie saying, "In my house, a child abused, I wouldn't permit such a thing." And they said, "We don't know what to think."
My mom, like, blatantly lying like that. I mean, it's crushing. It's just crushing. Just more and more. It's horrible to hear. Horrible to hear that my mom just, oh no, not here. Really? Really? But it was there. And you could be that sane to say that and then continue to allow all that other stuff to go down in the house? Really?
This is Lewis on the stand, speaking with the prosecutor. I was called into the living room, and Marie said that I was going to go home, and I was allowed to. I didn't have to come back anymore if I didn't want to. Ricky was going to give me something to remind me not to say anything. Ricky told me to put my hands over my head, and he beat me with his fists and punched me in my face, made me bleed. You never went back there again because you were told you didn't have to come back anymore? Yes. Did you keep your mouth shut like you were told? Yes. Did you tell the police what had happened to you? No. Did you still believe about the mafia? Yes. And that you could be killed? Yes.
He still kept his mouth shut. That's amazing. I mean, that's just shows how frightened they were. Lewis, I'm so sorry. 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 I'm just so sorry. I'm just so sorry. It was a living hell immediately once we moved into the smaller apartment. All that was left was the four of us, me, Ricky, my mom, and Teresa. It started to get bad for her. It was really bad for her. The torture was at its highest level. It was the worst it was. It was out in the open. There was no hiding it. Teresa would be chained to the radiator. Or whenever Ricky walked past her, he would kick her or hit her or do something. They were starving her. She's emaciated. She's bruised all over. I asked Ricky if I could give her some food. He said no. I went to my mom. And she was like, just don't, Tammy, just don't.
No.
So I gave up. I gave up. I did. I shouldn't have given up. I didn't say anything to anybody about it. I was afraid. I feel so horrible about not doing any of that when it could have mattered. Why didn't I do something? Why didn't I say something? Why didn't I call 911? Why didn't I care enough? While we were in this apartment, I went to school every day, and Teresa never left the house. She wasn't allowed to go to school. At night, Ricky would move her to the bathroom, where they would handcuff her to the foot of the bathtub and leave her there all night. She would sleep in the bathroom, then be brought into the kitchen all day long. And Teresa's like really in a really bad place. And then one day I woke up to him manhandling her. My bedroom was directly across from the bathroom. So I could see it happen with the door open. I saw Ricky. I think he was trying to like make her stand up or something. She was so weak and broken that she couldn't even sit up. I was kind of like, Mom. She hit her head up against the bathtub and she just went limp. The way she went limp was something I'd never seen before.
Get out of here. Now.
My mom said, go to school. So I went to school and I just sat there in class in shock. When I came home, I was like, where's Teresa? I'm not sure who said what, but they were kind of like along the lines of, don't worry about it. She's okay. She's fine. She's taken care of. She's fine. I'm thinking, where? Where, Mom? Where is she? Where is she? She's like, don't ask any questions, Tammy. Don't ask questions, Tammy. She was gone. And I thought to myself, they killed her. Oh my God. Maybe I'm next.
Were you ever told why she was moved in the morning from the bathroom? The bathroom had to be available for you to get ready for school.
I really hope Teresa forgives me. For not saying something earlier. For not saving her. That sucks to hear that, you know, that this poor girl is being tortured. And again, you know, I'm being doted on, you know, being taken care of, you know, that's kind of, it's crushing. It's crushing. Ricky went back home. I was so relieved. Because for me, he was the reason why everything started. Before you, everything was fine. Once you came into our lives, all hell broke loose. My mom was devastated. She just stayed in her bed for days, just saying how much she missed him, how much she wanted him back. He goes, no, I'm not going to go back. Then it was get back time. He doesn't want me? Okay, well then I'm gonna tell the police that he killed Teresa. And that's what she did.
Can I please speak to homicide?
That was the first time that I had gotten confirmation that Teresa was actually dead. My mom basically went to the cops and led them directly to the body, to Teresa's body. I come to find out that after Ricky manhandled her and she hit her head in the bathtub, apparently they wrapped her up in duct tape, sprinkled it with lye, and shoved her in the back of the wall, put her in between the beams, right behind my bed. I learned that she was actually still alive, and she's suffocated now because they duct taped her entire body. Oh, Lord Jesus. When my mother had originally told the cops that Ricky was abusing people, she had asked me to go and tell the cops that Ricky raped me. I guess to make her story better. I went, I did as she said. The ship was sinking and she was pulling out all the stops at that point to save herself. At that time, they could just see right through me. The detectives are like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I'm not sure about, like, no, I'm lying. It was, I couldn't hold on to the lie. I couldn't do it. Ricky never raped me. No, never ever. They sat me down and they said, your mother's being arrested for murder and you're going to go to family services. You're going to go to a foster home. I'm crying, no, it's not her, it's not her, Ricky did it, it's not her, Ricky did it. I thought they had it wrong. Because I watched Ricky manhandle her into the tub and go limp. But in retrospect, right, and finding everything out, that duct tape did her in. They suffocated her, whoever put the duct tape on her. Finding out all of this new information, it's probably what has shocked me most in this interview. This is a mugshot of my mother. Look at my mother's face here. Her eyes. What the was going through your head, Ma? What the hell? What the? She could have stopped it. Yeah, she didn't even have to start it. She could have stopped it. It's a shame. Shame. I don't want to look at this. The next time I saw her was behind 4-inch thick glass. And I visited her like that for the next 4 years. I did not ask her what happened or why she did it. We didn't talk about those things. She would have thought that I would stop loving her if I knew the truth. That was a big fear of hers. Within a few years, she appealed and the sentence was overturned. They gave her, I think, 2 life sentences and some more years on the side. This is a picture of me and my mother in prison. Now she was off of death row and I was able to actually hug her the first time I saw her. That's why we're holding on really tight. All intertwined. I mean, even through all the horrible stuff that happened, she still loved me. I visited her all the time for 28 years. The last time I visited her, she had told me that she had a lump here and that it was hurting her really badly. Eventually, she passed away from breast cancer, and that's where, in the end, she died. She died in prison. My foster family was wonderful, gave me all the love I needed. I stayed there for about 2 years, and then I moved out on my own. And I've been on my own ever since. And I've been working full-time since I'm 15 years old. Ended up working out well. I, got my GED. And here I am. I believed her all these years. I believe she was taken advantage of. But all of that is like up in the air, gone, thrown out the window now. I still try to make sense of it to this day. I really do. And I think, oh God, is there something, am I going to switch? Am I going to, switch it up? Am I going to become this, person? I hope not. So far, so good. With everything that I've learned, I believe, Ricky was a victim too, just like those other kids. So now it's time for me to really sit back and let this new information kind of seep in. And I got to figure out where I put it, where it goes, how I deal with it.
On the 24th of February 1986, police in Talladega, Alabama, forced entry into the home of 24-year-old Sherry Weathers. The profoundly deaf mother of two had not turned up to school for nearly a week, and the reason soon became clear. Sherry and her two young children had been strangled to death and piled on top of each other in the shape of a cross.
The utter callousness of it, of not only killing them, strangling them, but then posing them to be discovered. It's an act of a vile human being.
The horrific scene will forever be etched in the minds of the two detectives who worked on the case.
When you see something like that, you can't help but think about your own child. This could happen to my child, too.
And so now you know you got to do everything you possibly do to bring this person to justice.
The killer was a 31-year-old artist named Daniel Siebert, and his macabre masterpiece was far from complete. 2 more bodies would soon be discovered, but the police had no idea where to find him.
He's in the wind. We didn't know where he was, but we knew that somebody's going to die until he was caught.
Daniel Siebert had made his mark as one of the world's most evil killers. When 33-year-old Daniel Siebert was sentenced to death for the murder of Linda Jarman on the 17th of April 1987, it signaled the end of the killer's cold-blooded career. On the 19th of August, he received a second death sentence for the murders of Sherry Weathers and her 2 children. Officially found guilty of 5 murders, authorities believe that Siebert was responsible for many other deaths across the U.S. in the mid-1980s. Homicide detective Eugene Jacks was part of the policing team who hunted the killer for over 6 months before his dramatic arrest in September 1986.
He killed Sherry because she was deaf, and she would never amount to anything because she was deaf. He killed those 2 little boys because their mother was dead, and they would never amount to anything because they wouldn't have a mother. He killed Linda Jarman to get her car. He says he killed Linda Odom because she was a racist. I think he just killed people because he liked to kill people.
In a series of interviews with the killer, Eugene learned a lot about just how callous Daniel Siebert could be.
If you didn't know what kind of monster he really was, you could actually like him, but he had no compassion for anyone, no feelings for anyone. These people didn't matter to him. Not at all. He didn't hate them. He just didn't have any feelings for them. None whatsoever.
This killer's story begins in Mattoon, Illinois, a small city in America's Midwest.
Siebert was born in 1954, so these were the post-war years in the US. The economy was starting to boom. We have the idea of the American dream, but I think when we look behind closed doors at his family life, it was anything but that. There are reports of abuse from his father towards his mother and towards him.
Father was an aggressive man. He mistreated both Danny and his mother.
He was a man who was violent and abusive and controlling. And this is the role model of masculinity that Siebert grows up with. So I think that there is a real sense of shame that Siebert maintains throughout his life. And having been victimized, I think that Siebert was always trying to turn the tables and be the aggressor.
Siebert's parents divorced in 1968, just a month before his 14th birthday. The young man's life began to spiral out of control.
He became addicted to drugs. He had got into prostitution, himself acting as a male prostitute.
I think there were several warning signs in Siebert's childhood and adolescence that point towards a very troubled individual. He's somebody who could not make relationships work with other people. He didn't relate to his peers particularly well. There was a feeling of rejection from the family environment. And it's this sense of isolation and later the choice to be isolated, which is something that's very concerning for me.
There was nothing about him that could be described as ordered. He was like a Catherine wheel, going round and round in every single direction, a firework.
Aged 18 and looking for some stability in his life, Siebert enrolled with the military in 1972.
Siebert's decision to try and join the Marines is a really, really interesting part of this case because it's what that decision symbolises. The Marines symbolise this alpha male, this toughness, this kind of real American hero type persona. And I think Siebert wanted to try and live up to that.
Unfortunately, he couldn't deal with the order the Marines brought him. And quickly, well, within a year, went absent without leave.
After being dishonourably discharged from the Marines, Siebert was once again at a loose end. But the troubled young man had a hidden talent that soon began to flourish.
One thing that Siebert excelled at was as an artist. It was the only thing he was good at.
You tell me looking at some of his drawings, it was just, I think he was expressing his fantasies in his drawings. That's how he got started with that. He was quite a person. I mean, he had an engaging personality. Enjoyable to talk with, really. If you didn't know what kind of person he was down deep, you would actually enjoy sitting talking with him.
But life for the charming young artist remained difficult.
Between 1972 and 1978, he was principally based in Los Angeles. And there were a series of offences, drug offences, some violence, charges of battery. It was a life lived on the edge, on the fringes of society and on the fringes of the law.
By January 1979, 24-year-old Siebert was living in Las Vegas. He was in a relationship with a male partner. It was reportedly an abusive one that ended with him fatally stabbing his lover.
This homicide was a particularly vicious one because Siebert stabbed his partner 29 times. Now, for me, that means that he has made that decision 29 times to put the knife in again. This was somebody who knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing was wrong, and they chose to do it anyway.
Despite the viciousness of the slaying, at his subsequent trial, Siebert was charged with manslaughter, not murder.
Siebert insisted that it was a matter of self-defense. How it can be to stab someone that many times is slightly beyond me. But it did seek to throw into doubt whether it was a premeditated murder, and therefore added strength to the argument that it was a crime of passion.
I think because this was a homosexual relationship, there was a tendency for the court to just want to accept that narrative and put this case to bed, because there was still stigma around homosexuality in the US at this time. And I think that was perhaps what drove this offence in the first place, because a lot of violence has its roots in shame. I think Siebert was fundamentally ashamed of who he was. He never accepted who he was. He never felt that society would accept him for his true identity. So I think this early offence is so important, and the criminal justice system's reaction to it was just not good enough.
Siebert was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but after serving just 2, he escaped while on work detail in December 1981.
Now, we really do have a lethal weapon waiting to go off. While he's on the run, he kidnaps a woman at gunpoint in San Francisco, and she only escapes by jumping out of the moving car on the Golden Gate Bridge. It is a remarkable escape, because in my own mind I'm not the slightest doubt that he intended to kill her.
Siebert was recaptured the following day in nearby Oakland and returned to prison. An extra year was added to his sentence, but in 1985 he was freed on parole on the proviso that he would return to court to face charges for the abduction and assault he committed during his brief escape. Due to attend court in San Francisco in December 1985, Siebert didn't turn up. His next known whereabouts were over 800 miles away in Tucson, Arizona, where he was found hitchhiking and heading east.
But now, Daniel Siebert is not calling himself Daniel Siebert, he's calling himself Daniel Spence. He's given a lift by a man called Donald Hedren, who is on his way to Alabama. Before the journey comes to an end, Donald has offered Spence a post as a volunteer at the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind, in which Hedren works.
Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind is a big part of the Toledo community. It's actually a community of its own, or a family of its own, you might say.
And he has, superficially at least, the perfect cover. Artistic young man, happy to volunteer at an institute for those with deafness and blindness.
Leaving his troubles in California far behind him, Siebert settled down in Talladega, Alabama in January 1986. Working at the AIDB, he had a new identity and a new community of friends.
After he arrived here, people realized that he was an accomplished artist, and he was asked to do a mural at AIDB, which he did. And that's one of the reasons he stayed here for a while, was doing that mural.
Once again, he hid in plain sight. The affable art volunteer, friend of Donald, welcome in the Institute. And then, and it's almost heartbreaking, he meets Sherry Ann Weathers, a 24-year-old deaf mother of 2 small boys, and they form a relationship.
A new circle of friends had welcomed 31-year-old Daniel Siebert into their lives with open arms. But they had no idea they'd allowed a brutal killer into their close-knit community. Siebert spent much of his time at the apartment of his new girlfriend, 24-year-old Sherry Weathers. By the 24th of February, Sherry, a single mother of 2, hadn't turned up at the school for almost a week. Her concerned friends contacted the authorities.
In February 1986, the police department received a call for a welfare check at Sunrise Apartments in Talladega. Police was dispatched. Officer Tom Byerman was the first on the scene. When he entered Sherry Weathers' apartment, he discovered the bodies of Sherry Weathers and the 2 boys. He immediately backed out, locked the door, and called for investigation.
Eugene was joined on the case by an investigator from the district attorney's office, Dennis Surratt.
We arrived at the apartments, and the police department had already had the scene roped off. And we met the other investigators, went into the apartment, and as you walk into the rooms, There's a bedroom, and there's a living room, and there's a kitchen. And right in the center of the living room and the kitchen, you see 3 bodies.
It's quite horrible. And I haven't forgotten it after all these years. One of the next door neighbors had heard the 2 little boys playing in a tub. He got them out of the bed. He strangled the 2 little boys.
He actually woke them up because they were in bed asleep. He wanted them to know that they were being killed. He wanted them to feel that fear.
And he stacked their bodies on top of the mother.
It looked like it formed a cross. That's my first impression.
Sherry Weathers and her 2 sons, 5-year-old Chad and 4-year-old Joseph, had been strangled to death 5 days earlier on the 19th of February. It was a sickening scene, even for seasoned detectives, but the team knew they needed to stay professional and not let their emotions get in the way of their police work.
You know the minute you walk into that scene, you know this is a death penalty case. And you know things have to be done differently. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be exact. Everything has to be documented. I's dotted, T's crossed, because you know where this is headed to. Because you know a murder of 2 or more is going to be a death penalty case. And then the emotional part hits you. You know, this is a young mother. This is 2 young children had their life ahead of them. What kind of person would do this? I mean, emotionally it hits you. That's the second thing. After reality is what you got. Then emotionally, you're hit, you know, especially if you have children.
When you see something like that, you can't help but think about your own child. This could happen to my child too. It's something that you just don't forget about it.
Just as the 2 investigators were getting to grips with their Halloween day, some more worrying news came in.
We're in the middle of processing that scene, and we'd been there probably 2 or 3 hours processing the scene for evidence. And then we were notified that Linda Jarman, who was a friend of Sherry Weathers, she did not show up for classes that day.
She lived in an adjoining apartment, not to this building, but to the next building. So Dennis and I went to her apartment, and we discovered her on the bed in the bedroom, and she'd been strangled.
33-year-old Linda Jarman, a deaf teacher at the same institute where Sherry was a student, had been murdered in cold blood.
He used to sob and just strangle her in her own bed. Of course, most people don't know what a VCR is these days and times, but back in those days, VCR was worth some money, so he stole her VCR in order to get money to travel further.
Linda Jarman's cream-coloured car was also missing. The team would report their findings to former Talladega County District Attorney Robin Rumsey.
The evidence would show that after he strangled Sherry and Chad and Joey, that he went to Linda Jarman's apartment telling her that he had had a fight with Sherry and could he sleep on her couch. When she went back to bed and went to sleep, then he went in and he strangled her to get her car to leave.
After speaking to acquaintances and colleagues of Sherry and Linda, the detectives soon had a number 1 suspect who they discovered had been using a different alias.
At that point, we learned the name Daniel Spence from the people at the school. And we start running him in the computer to see if we find out Daniel Spence, who he is, where is he, everything we can find out. And it's determined that his name is actually Daniel Lee Siebert.
Once we developed him as a suspect and got his true identity, we put a nationwide pickup out on Daniel Siebert and Linda Jarman's car. He quickly became the prime suspect because Daniel Spence wasn't here and Linda Jarman's car was gone.
As the duo headed to Siebert's apartment building, they soon discovered there was another potential victim.
So we go knocking on the door, and there's no answer at the door. A neighbor comes out and says, "Why are you here?" I said, "We're looking to see Mr. Siebert." He said, "Well, he's not here." He said, "I got to tell you, my girlfriend's missing." "Well, whose girlfriend?" "It's Linda Odom." "How long has she been missing?" "Well, 2 days. I hadn't seen her. She hadn't been home." "Well, do you know if she's ever connected with this guy here, Mr. Siebert?" "Yeah, they're kind of friends." "Well, you need to go to police department, file a report."
In the space of 24 hours, 4 people had been found dead and another was missing. The investigators needed to find Daniel Siebert fast. And they soon had word from authorities over 350 miles north of Talladega.
We received information from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, that they had located Linda Jarman's car right off the interstate in Elizabethtown. That's when Dennis and I left here to go there to process the car for fingerprints and physical evidence.
And so they take us to the scene, and we go up an embankment from where the car was, and we find a campsite. We uncover a campsite. And Eugene Riley, we find identification to the boys. We find information on Sherry Weathers and Linda Jarman all at that campsite. So we're fairly certain at this time we're on the right trail.
It was a huge breakthrough that confirmed Daniel Siebert was their man.
We got Daniel Siebert's fingerprints out of the car, plus other evidence we knew that tied to him, the type of cigarettes he smoked and the type of chewing gum that he chewed. We recovered photographs of women and children, women's cosmetics.
There were also some quite chilling items at this campsite. There were photos of the Weathers family, there were drawings of the Weathers family, and I think this emphasis on those victims is so significant in this case. This young mother and her 2 children seem to have quite a lot of importance for Siebert, because I think that he didn't feel they deserved to be alive. These boys were happy, they were loved and cared for by their mother. I think he felt a real sense of envy and resentment towards them. It was something that he wanted to relive, and I think those 3 murders of Sherry Weathers and her 2 children were the murders he was most proud of.
Despite being sure Siebert was responsible for at least 4 murders, the dangerous killer remained undetected.
Dennis and Eugene, both of them are excellent processors. They go and they're in Kentucky for quite a while, so they were up there several days. And he's in the wind. We didn't know where he was, but we knew that somebody was going to die until he was caught.
In Linda's car, Eugene and Dennis had recovered an address book belonging to 31-year-old Siebert, which would eventually prove to be an important find.
I had one investigator. Her main job, I'd say, in this investigation was to stay in contact with known associates of Siebert. She had built a rapport with the girlfriend of Siebert's out there, and she promised that if she heard from him, she would call.
With every day that passed, the investigators knew Siebert could strike again at any moment.
Each day when you went to work, the first thing you did was start checking tips and leads on the possibility where Siebert was. There wasn't a day that went by that you didn't do something on the Siebert case.
I don't know how many miles that we put on cars going from here to there to check out leads or information on Siebert or some of his friends or this, that, and the other. I mean, Lord, there's no telling.
As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Siebert's location remained a mystery. The investigators desperately searched in vain. But in reality, he was over 900 miles from Talladega, Alabama, in New Jersey, and was about to claim another victim, 57-year-old tour guide Beatrice McDougal.
Daniel Siebert was in Atlantic City, staying in a hotel on March 8th of 1986, walks by a room of a Mrs. McDougal that was a tour guide. She was fixing up for a reception for a hospitality room.
He would have deduced fairly quickly that she's a tour guide, so she's likely to have some cash on her.
Siebert was determined to get his hands on Beatrice's money by any means necessary.
And he goes in there and kills her. We don't know at that point that it's Siebert, but he's off and in the wind, and we ain't got a clue where he is after that. He just drops off the radar.
Siebert had stabbed Beatrice twice in the stomach and strangled her to death in an opportunistic attack.
I think that there is just no regard for the rights or the feelings of other people. It's all about him. He needs money at this point in time because he's on the run. He also wants to kill any potential witness to this crime of theft. So her life was just not considered valuable by him.
As Siebert remained undetected, the bad news continued for investigators in Alabama. On the 30th of March 1986, another victim of the 31-year-old artist would be discovered.
We're all actually at the DA's office working on another case, and we are called that we've got a body. And just outside of Talladega, there's a little cemetery on the left-hand side of Alabama Highway 21. And there we find a skeletonized body. No question, it's been there for a long time. Decomposition has already come and gone. And we sift through everything. She's not buried or anything. She's been laid on top of the ground. We know it's a female, and that's all we know. And we sift through the pine straw and everything, looking for all the bones, the teeth, and this, that, and other that we could find to identify. And ultimately, she was identified as Linda Odom, the girl that was missing from the next door neighbor, Siebert.
The timeline suggested that 32-year-old cocktail waitress Linda Odom was Siebert's first victim. Siebert strangled Linda on the 19th of February 1986, meaning he killed 5 people on that one day.
Linda's body was taken to Siebert's apartment, and he disposes of the body by lowering it in sheets out of the window and then taking it to a nearby cemetery to dispose of it. And interestingly, Siebert said that when he was disposing of Linda's body, he started punching her. I mean, she was obviously dead at this point in time, but I think that was something that enhanced his feelings of control over this victim. And I think that sense of rage as well that he expresses at this point in time, the way that he's seeing this community who are so welcoming, who are so inclusive, who are loving towards one another, this is something that he feels he was entitled to when he was younger, something that he never had. And these people don't deserve it, according to him. So I think that's what's underlying all of this behaviour.
This young girl, she didn't deserve what happened to her. But she just dumped in the cemetery. That kind of hurts your heart that somebody is so cruel to do something like that.
What the detectives in Alabama didn't know is that by now, Siebert was in prison in New Jersey, serving 61 days for assaulting a woman. When he was arrested for the altercation, he used the stolen Social Security card of murdered 5-year-old Chad Weathers as identification. This meant that no one had made the link between Siebert and any of the murders.
So during the time that Siebert was on the run, he actually used the identities of Sherry Weathers' 2 boys to gain new identification. And at this point in time, it was relatively easy to do that, to use a child's identity to get a social security number. But I think that the significance of this is more than just a practicality. I think there is something much more meaningful going on here. By possessing these children's names, by presenting yourself as them, you are owning them, you are possessing them, they are yours. And it's that extension of control over your victims.
After serving his time for the assault, Siebert was in police custody again in June 1986, this time in Virginia.
This young officer stops Siebert, and in the car he finds ropes and knives, ladies' belongings, photographs, just all types of things that just made him very suspicious of this man.
They checked the car and it was stolen. So he was arrested for car theft, being in possession of the stolen car. He was using the identity of Joey Weathers, using the Social Security card as identification. He made bond, and he was gone.
Siebert was incredibly cunning, incredibly manipulative. I think he was well aware of the fact that law enforcement wasn't particularly well joined up in terms of interstate communication and sharing of information at this time. And I think he truly did take advantage of that.
In August, Siebert was yet again in another state, Maryland. He assaulted a woman in Baltimore, but wasn't captured by the police. He then headed back west towards Nashville, Tennessee. The investigators in Alabama still had no idea where he was, but a breakthrough was on the horizon. Detectives who'd reached out to people listed in Siebert's address book had been contacted by one of his ex-girlfriends in Nevada. She had news that would finally crack the case.
This lady calls from out there and says that she had just spoken with Danny Siebert on the phone, and he told her what time it was where he was at. And she could hear thunder. It was raining. So the investigator came and then told her stuff about the call and that it was raining at that particular time.
With very little information, the investigators tried to trace the source of Siebert's call.
It was not easy to trace telephone calls, but they told us if we had any idea where he was, it would make it a lot easier. Otherwise, it could take 3 weeks to a month to trace it. I told the investigator, go call the National Weather Service, find out where it's raining in that time zone. It was raining in Tennessee. That was it in that time zone. We were able to use that information and trace the telephone call to Hurricane Mills in Tennessee, to a little convenience store restaurant there.
It was a stunning revelation. Detectives could now pinpoint Siebert to the small community of Hurricane Mills, Tennessee, 70 miles west of Nashville.
So I called the district attorney, told him we're going to Tennessee. He said, okay, I'm coming with you. And no question we were keyed up because I spent 6 months and no count how many trips, not me, but how many trips with the investigators and stuff had gone running down every little lead that they could come up with, which really had proved fruitless. But this is a live hit now. So we all loaded up in cars, headed to Tennessee. I called TBI, which is Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. This is what we got going on. We got him traced to this location, and we're headed that way.
After 6.5 months of searching for Siebert, the anticipation of his arrest was at the forefront of the detectives' minds.
The journey up there was, it's almost like waiting for your birthday party. We were all extremely excited.
Well, the time we got there was late night, and we decided not to do anything but send one investigator in there to see if they could see anything to the search person, because you had this service station where the call was from, and then you had a restaurant up here, and then you had another filling station or restaurant up here. So one investigator went in, kind of knew the owner, and said, yeah, he's been painting some signs for me, and he'll be in here in the morning to collect his check.
It would be a sleepless night for the arresting officers.
Everybody's upbeat. Everybody's tired, but everybody's upbeat. And I don't think a single one of us took a nap that night out there on the road. Because we were just on the roadway, waiting for morning.
The following morning, the 5th of September 1986, the team were ready to pounce as dawn broke over Hurricane Mills.
It's hard to describe what it was like sitting there waiting for him to come around the building, but I'd always wondered if I'd recognize him when I saw him. When he rounded the corner of that building, there was no doubt in my mind, that's him. As soon as he went in the door, Dennis and I were out the door. We went in behind him. He wasn't there. Scared us to death. We just looked at the clerk, where is he? And she pointed to the restaurant. And we went in, and TBI and the captain went in and arrested him in the men's room. And his only question to us was, how'd y'all find me?
I mean, he's got about 6 weapons just aimed at him, and he's caught with his butt down, basically. We seized his backpack. We found where he'd been staying in a car, a wrecked out car behind the station. And he is immediately taken to the court in Tennessee. And we contacted our governor and asked her for her plane to fly him back.
Finally, Daniel Siebert was in police custody. He would never be free again.
I mean, man alive, you can't imagine the relief you feel. We've got him. He's not going to hurt anybody else. And there again, you're thinking of Sherry, and you're thinking of the babies, and Linda, and Linda Oden, you're thinking about them. Okay, we can put everybody to rest now. And it's the best feeling in the world.
The police had their man, but the job was far from done. Detectives were certain he was responsible for the murders of 5 people in the small community: Linda Odom, Linda Jarman, Sherry Weathers, and her 2 sons, Chad and Joey. Investigators had stacks of evidence against Siebert, but they were hoping an interview with the 32-year-old would uncover even more secrets.
It was tense for me, and I'm sure it was for the captain, because we were wanting to get a confession. This was the end of a long, hard battle for us, and we wanted him to admit what he had done.
Siebert told Eugene about the 5 murders he'd committed on the 19th of February 1986, and also confessed to the killing of Beatrice McDougall in Atlantic City on the 8th of March. He showed no remorse for any of the murders.
He wasn't concerned at all. Showed no emotion whatsoever. Never shed a tear. You could tell there was no concern in him about what he had done. And if we had released him right there, he'd have done it again in a few days, because he had no remorse whatsoever for what he'd done. I told people want to know how he felt about his victims. He didn't feel about his victims. He had no feelings for them one way or the other. He had no feelings for anyone. I don't know that he really felt anything about himself, to be honest with you. He had no feelings.
I think he was a psychopath. I think he demonstrated every normal, or if you can use the word normal when applied to a psychopath, every possible psychopathic tendency, an utter lack of remorse, an utter lack of conscience, an utter lack of empathy with other people. They were simply objects.
Siebert also confessed to another murder that predated any of the other 6, whilst he was lodging with Donald Hendron in Alabama.
It's early February 1986. Donald Hendron's asleep. Siebert gets out of bed and borrows Donald's car and picks up a girl called Cheryl Evans. She's working as a prostitute in Birmingham and Alabama.
He kidnapped her, robbed her, and killed her, and carried her body to Ohatchee and dumped it in a roadside garbage dump. And then just returned the car like nothing had happened.
That brought the tally of victims to 7, but Eugene was certain there was still more. He had uncovered a telling piece of evidence when searching Siebert's home back in February.
In his apartment, I'd found a road atlas. I'd gone through the road atlas, and out on the West Coast, he had X's with zeros, X's and zeros, and he just had X's. I asked him about those, and he said every place that there was an X with a circle around it is where he had killed someone, and just the X's were robberies. I contacted each of these jurisdictions, and sure enough, each place that there was an X with a circle, they had recovered a body.
This is basically Siebert's commemoration of the murders that he's committed. I think every time he looked at that map, he would have felt powerful, he would have felt superior. And we do often see this in cases of serial killers.
Siebert confessed to killing 3 sex workers in Nevada and California in late 1985.
The fact that he's targeted sex workers is really significant for me, because he's preying upon these women's vulnerabilities. He's well aware that society does not value these individuals as much as it values others, and therefore he has access to them, he has the opportunity to harm them.
He was also indicted for the murder of Beatrice McDougall, but never went to trial for this. Despite admitting to as many as 13 murders, detectives could only link 10 victims to the 32-year-old. But for his impending trials, Siebert would only be indicted for the murders of the 5 that had been thoroughly investigated in Alabama.
There was 5 homicides. Linda Jarman was a capital case because it was murder during the commission of a robbery or a theft of getting a car. Sherry Weathers, Chad, and Joey was a capital case because it was murder of 2 or more people pursuant to a common plan, scheme, or design. Linda Odom was not a capital case. He pled guilty to Linda Odom after all of this life sentence.
During 3 trials over the course of 5 months between March and August 1987, Siebert was found guilty of all 5 murders and sentenced to death twice.
I've probably tried 30 death penalty cases or more, but this one is just the magnitude of it and what makes another human being go do something like this. I mean, you got a woman that's deaf that he's intimate with, a 4 and 5-year-old who he wakes up from their sleep to strangle, goes to another deaf woman and kills her just to get a car to get out of there. I mean, just thinking about it, it'll be there on a deathbed.
I think the sentences that he received were appropriate. I think he committed the most serious of crimes, so that deserves the most serious of sentence. But I think if we were to ask his victims' families, they're not going to have their loved ones brought back. I think they have achieved some sense of justice, but at the same time I think they were asking a lot of questions as to how this man had slipped off the radar of the authorities. This man had committed a homicide in 1979 and he went on to commit more, so could more have been done to prevent that?
I think one of the things that always moves me most about this story is that when he was asked about the killing of Sherry Ann and the boys, he said Sherry didn't have anything to say, Joey didn't have anything to say, Chad didn't have anything to say, and I don't have anything to say. If there's anything that could be more heartless, more utterly revolting, more depraved than that remark, I have yet to hear it. And this is a man who stuffed out the life of a deaf 24-year-old mother and her 2 children aged 5 and 4. It is utterly monstrous.
In August 1987, Daniel Siebert began his death row sentence. For 18 months, the case had consumed the investigators who had worked on it. Now they could breathe a sigh of relief.
I still think about those 2 little boys. And always will, I'm sure. I'm sure Dennis and the other investigators do too, because they all had children too.
I don't know what it is, but I know he's a psychotic killer. And had he not been taken in Tennessee, that's what's so outstanding about the police work. Had he not been taken in Tennessee, I don't know whether it would have been Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nevada, Utah, or California, but somebody else would have died. And he wasn't through.
After numerous unsuccessful appeals throughout the years, 53-year-old Siebert remained on death row for almost 21 years.
On April 22nd, 2008, Daniel Siebert died, but not from lethal injection, from pancreatic cancer, natural causes. In the end, he escaped the death penalty.
I mean, this was a personal type of crime. This is not something that you're standing 30 feet away and shoot somebody. This is something you put your hands around their neck and choke the life out of them. That's bad. Think about that. Because it takes anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes to do that to someone. And you're sitting there and you got your hands around the neck and you're taking the life from them. You've got to be enjoying that. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it that way. And if you're enjoying something like that, man, you are bad. And I just wish we had got to electrocute him. I think we felt we cheated for that.
Daniel Siebert was linked to at least 10 murders and was convicted of 5. But he never tried to justify his reason for killing people.
For me, what makes Siebert one of the world's most evil killers is the degree of manipulativeness that he was able to exercise. He was able to come across as an individual with feelings, as an individual who cared about others, but those feelings were not genuine at all. They were simply a performance.
He was an absolute monster. He was a horrible person. He really was. And that's what comes to mind anytime anyone mentions his name. He's a monster.
Daniel Siebert was a callous killer who felt no remorse. To choke the life out of 2 children simply because he felt they would never amount to much is a cold-blooded act that cannot be forgiven. We may never know exactly how many lives he took, but Siebert's death means he can no longer harm anyone and will forever be remembered as one of the world's most evil killers.
I was being courted by several colleges. I had several scholarships lined up. The future was looking real good. And when my brother got arrested, it destroyed my dreams. It was like a thunderstorm, a cloud just came right over my head. Everybody know who the first person in the world is. If I say who was the first person to go to the moon, you'll say Neil Armstrong. Who knows Timothy Wilson Spencer? When I look at this picture, I see a methodical, calculated criminal that stole people's lives. And it's time for me to speak my truth on what I went through as a person, and being the brother of Timothy Wilson Spencer. Growing up, it was my mom and my brother. We don't have too many pictures together. This is my brother and myself. We're 9 or 10 years apart. He's a proud big brother, and I was proud that he was proud to be my big brother. This picture showed me that we had potential to be a great family. Don't nobody know why he did what he did. We could speculate, but no, he the only one that knows why. One day, I was outside playing with one of my friends, and I heard a thud like, doot. I'm looking around, and we looking around, like, we hear another thud. And we looked, and I saw one of my brother's friends throwing rocks. The rocks kept flying around, and I looked, and one of them hit me, like, right under the eye. Split me to the white meat. I was gushing blood, and I run inside. I'm crying.
Wow, Travis, baby, what happened? Oh my God.
So we try to bandage it up a little bit.
Let me see. Move your hand.
Mom, like, what happened? I'm like, Tim's friend threw a rock and it hit me under the eye, and my brother comes in.
Hey, what happened?
He looks at me. He's like, what the hell happened to your eye?
What happened, man? Somebody hit you?
It was one of your friends.
And I said, one of your friends threw a rock and it hit me. And he was like, which one? And I told him who it was.
All right. Hey, look, you'll be all right, little bro. I'll be back.
Look up here at mommy, baby.
And he said, don't worry about it. I'll handle that for you. The next day, I'm walking to the bus stop, and that friend comes up to me and says, hey, little Spencer.
Yo, dude, wait.
Travis, I apologize for throwing that rock and hitting you in the eye yesterday.
I'm so sorry about yesterday. Are you okay?
And as he's telling me this, I'm looking at him. And I'm like, you got a black eye too. Wow, you got a big one.
What happened to you?
Nothing.
I stood there and I was like dumbfounded that he had a black eye. Later on that day, my brother said, did he apologize? And I was like, yes, he did. He said, I told you I'll handle that for you.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
That situation right there had me feeling special. I was his little brother, and he didn't want to see me hurt. That was a good feeling as a young kid, knowing somebody has your back. I remember I saw him about to go outside, and I was like, hey, Tim, can I come hang with you today? And usually he'll say no, but I would always ask. And this day he was like, yeah, come with me. His friends just started coming out and, hey, what's up? And before you know it, it was maybe 3 to 5 of us just walking around and stumbled across a couple of stray cats. Look. Before you know it, the cat was in a pillowcase. And they tied the pillowcase up. And they laughing and giggling about it. And they started throwing rocks at the pillowcase with the cat in there.
Come on, don't do that. Nah. Get off.
That was too much. I just had a bad feeling and I walked off. A couple of days later, it came out that they set that pillowcase on fire with that cat in there. I had friends come up and say, hey man, you know your brother set a cat on fire? I confronted him. He said it wasn't him. But a lot of the things that he said he didn't do, apparently he did. And I'm here to tell people, don't overlook anything. Question everything. I remember the first time Timothy went to juvenile detention. It was for breaking and entering our own house. My mom and my mom's boyfriend and I, we go out and get something to eat. Upon our return, we saw that our back window was broken.
Hello?
We've been robbed. Somebody's been in here. But we look around the house. We didn't see anything out of the ordinary. And we was trying to figure it out. And my mom went straight to the money drawer. And saw that all the money was gone. They took the $1,500 that my mom and my mom's boyfriend were saving. And only 4 people knew where that stash was.
Anybody home?
So my brother comes home.
I wasn't.
We asked him if he had touched it, and of course he denied it.
Where's the money?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just got here.
He's saying he doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know what happened to the money.
This was for you and your brother.
I told you I didn't do anything.
I felt betrayed. Like, how can you steal from us? I mean, they work hard to put that money there for us.
Where is it?
I got nothing to say.
I was like, wow. That's the first time I actually saw no empathy, lack of respect for authority. We reported it, so he got arrested. He was in the juvenile detention center for, I guess, 8 months. And that was the first time I saw my brother in a different light.
This had nothing to do with me.
Police come banging on the door with a search warrant. That's when things started to take a change. This is a picture of my brother, Timothy, a.k.a. Sport Coat. And that was his nickname, Sport Coat. You put a sport coat on, you feel cool. It's cool like that. By this time, he was in and out of jail, in and out of juvie. It started when he got arrested for breaking and entering. He was taking collector's items, coins and souvenirs and things like that, things that had a value to it, that were pawnable. He would come home for maybe 3 or 4 months, violation, back in. That was his pattern. But I was still optimistic that one day he would leave that trouble in them streets alone. I thought in order to bond with somebody, you have to be like them. But when I got caught stealing, Tim's reaction was not what I was expecting. The police dropped me off at the house, and my mom opened the door up, and I'm laying in the bed, with my chest swole, waiting on my brother to come in so I could tell him the good news, like, yeah, I stole something. And it's our bonding moment. And he comes in, and then he says to me, Mom told me you've been stealing. I was like, yeah.
Man, don't get spoiled, man. What the hell is the matter with you, man?
I'm thinking he's gonna say something like, good job, or that's my little brother. And he looks at me with total disgust, like, don't do it.
You can't do the same things I'm doing.
I thought you'd be proud of me.
He's telling me, don't hurt Mom, don't steal, don't do anything to have her crying.
You got moms all upset.
Play sports, man. I know you good. You got it. Just play sports. Don't do the things I did. Do the right thing, Travis.
You're better than this.
That meant a lot. That meant everything. He sensed that it was something special in me, and he articulated that. It changed my life.
Now stick to what you're good at. Basketball.
That's one of the fondest moments that I had. Him saying, you're special. Didn't want to disappoint him, and didn't want to disappoint my mom. So, I live to not disappoint my mom. Maybe if he did that, I'd still be here today. So, I think he was committing those trespassing charges because he was perfecting his craft. He was learning from each episode that he had to not reduplicate that mistake. He gets locked up again for trespass. So he calls from the jail.
Hello?
Travis, I need you to hide those Bootsy glasses.
They're upstairs in my closet. You need to go get them now.
They were very expensive sunshades, circle glasses with stars in them, and they were filled with diamonds. These glasses was at least a couple of $1,000s. I heard the fear in his voice.
You need to calm down.
No, you need to listen. The cops are coming right now.
He was like, throw them in the trash, hide them, do whatever you gotta do. The police cannot find these glasses. I was like, oh no.
You want me to get in trouble too?
I knew those phone calls were recorded. He's telling me to basically be a conspirator. You're just as guilty if you do that. And I just couldn't do it.
You have to do this right now. Get off the phone and go.
I gotta go. The cops are here.
Police come banging on the door with a search warrant.
Is your mother home?
And I told him where the glasses were. I didn't feel like I betrayed him because he told me to do the right thing. They pressed charges, and he was in there for, I think, a year. He learned this lesson from that one. He learned never to have your goods laying around. Stash them somewhere, outside or whatever, but don't have them in the house. After he got out, that's when things started to take a change. It was Thanksgiving, and we always would have Thanksgiving at my grandmother's house. But as a whole family being there, my brother was always locked up during Christmas, so Thanksgiving time.
Yes, honey. Okay. We miss you and we love you.
So this one particular incident, we're talking on the phone and everybody's like, hey, how you doing, Tim?
Happy Thanksgiving, Tim.
And when we hang up the phone, they start saying, that boy crazy, remember? When they had that bird.
I still can't believe what he did to that bird.
It's like, bird? One of my mom's friend had a parakeet, and she asked my mom to look after the parakeet for her. Tim got a hold of the parakeet, and the parakeet ends up dead. I was like, really? And then they go on to stories about gerbils.
Yeah, but ain't nothing compared to the gerbil.
Why you gotta bring that up?
Another time, Timothy was upset with a family member, which happened to own a gerbil. He decided to kill the gerbil.
Stuffing push pins in that gerbil's eyeballs? That's sick.
The gerbil was found with pins pushed all the way through the eyeballs, the nose, the head, just every angle.
Push pins.
I was disturbed. Thoughts of evil ran through my mind. For you to hold a gerbil and push pins through a head, nose, eyes, ears, while holding it and listening, that's something wrong mentally. I think the squealing, the struggle part is what really fascinated him. And if you look at it, that was pretty much how the victims were. They were tortured. They struggled for their lives. He's in total control.
I was crying and then choked me and I couldn't cry no more. Some days I thought maybe he should have just killed me.
Please, please.
Wow, mugshot. This is one of the notorious mugshots that they always use. That, you know, whenever they speak of my brother, they bring this shot up. He's going to jail for trespassing here. But there could be a body out there. You never know. It looked like he's crazy in that picture. He looked like he's happy to be there. It seemed like every time he would get locked up, he would come out a little more aggressive and a little more physical. That's when I became the guinea pig. He started practicing on me. I would think I was home all alone. I don't know where he was hiding. I just know he was going to the bathroom and he popped out of nowhere with a stocking over his face and a knife. And put it to my throat. And then, you know, I was against the wall. And I couldn't cry, I couldn't do nothing. I was just stuck.
Please, please.
After about 5 seconds, he just started laughing. Like, oh, you was scared. You was scared, wasn't you? Like, yeah, I was scared. Absolutely.
Got you good, didn't I?
Can't be scaring me like that, man. I don't like being scared like that. And he thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
He definitely got a nice rush off of seeing me startled. And once he saw that I was startled, they became more frequently, more aggressive and more physical. During the summer break, my brother and I would spend a lot of time alone together. My mom worked from 7 in the morning to approximately 7 or 8 at night. I would walk the house to make sure I was home alone. Open the bathroom door up, and he in there.
Give me!
This time, he would throw me on the bed and take that stocking cap that he had on his head and use that as literatures. Real methodical. It happened so fast. It's like he had a way to do it. Wrap your hands, push you on the bed, wrap with your feet, Then there was a look in his eyes. It was no talking to him at that point. He was gone, and in his eyes just had evil written on them. So I was hog-tied, and then put a sock in my mouth, and he threw me in the closet. It's hard to convey how scary it is. I laid there, and I had trouble breathing, so I would find a way to arch my back and my neck and my feet so I could rest and breathe a little bit. And then I would use my hands to undo my feet. It took me so long to undo one little knot. I asked myself, why am I being tortured like this? Why is he doing this to me? It was like somebody practicing their craft and they're trying to get it to perfection. It took me about 4 hours to get out of that one. If I would get out of that, I'd go try to fight him. Like, you doing? I could have died in there. And I would really try to physically hurt him. And it was like, Trav, you shouldn't be such a crybaby, man. You know, he was just playing around. I was like, yeah, but I couldn't breathe, man. Almost died in it. Tim had a very unorthodox time frame. When it's dark outside, he wants to wake up and hit the streets. It was almost like he was a vampire. When we asked him where was he going, he'd just say, a friend's house. But was that really true? He would come home and go straight to the bathroom and stand there for like an hour and a half. I was always wondering what he was doing in there. I tried to look under the door, and it looked like he was at the sink washing up, but never heard any water run. So one morning, I knocked on the door, and I was like, what are you doing? He was washing his shoes, and I thought that was bizarre. Wet the whole shoe and then scrub where he needed to scrub, take the soap and wash your shoestrings like this. I mean, it was like he was obsessed with it. Every time he went out, he made sure that he washed his shoes.
Yo, what are you doing up?
Why are you cleaning your shoes?
You have to stay fresh, Travis.
People look at your shoes, they'll judge you, and know what's up.
And I thought that was admirable. In hindsight, I would think that there was some evidence there that he was cleaning up. But the information he presented to me, at that time, I took at face value. It made sense at the time.
Go to bed.
Buster!
The dog noticed something in the yard. I went out to check it out, and when I walked around the corner, I'm like, whoa. January of '88, wow. Woo! This is right before they arrested him. This is him while he's doing the crimes that he's committed. He has a slick look in his eyes, like he's getting away with a lot of stuff that you don't even know. Little did he know that his world was about to come crashing down right after this picture. Thanksgiving of '87, we were living in Arlington, Virginia. I was in high school. My brother was in a halfway house in Richmond. Richmond is an hour and 30 minutes away from Arlington, Virginia. And we had no idea that there was a serial killer on the loose in Richmond. He was labeled as the Southside Strangler. In Richmond, it was a whole fiasco. I mean, you had people going to the hardware stores, nailing their windows shut. The whole town was in a frenzy. We had no idea. Just an hour and a half down the road, pandemonium was going on. The Thanksgiving, when everything went down, he came home on a furlough. One morning, I let the dog out to use the bathroom, and the dog went out, and I was talking to him like, hey, hurry up.
Buster, where you at?
But on his way back to the house, it stopped and looked to the right. The dog noticed something in the yard. It wouldn't come back in the house.
Yo, let's go.
I went out to check it out, and when I walked around the corner, I see a bag on the side of the house, and I'm like, whoa, what's this bag doing on the side of the house? So I opened the bag up. I saw the Army fatigue coat. I didn't even look to see what else was in there. I was just impressed with the coat, and I was like, I don't even care, but let me try this on. As soon as I put one arm in to try to see what it looked like,
Yo, what the hell are you doing?
my brother comes out of nowhere.
Yo, were you in my bag?
I was like, why is your bag out here anyway? Your bag should be in the house.
I don't think you heard me, bro. I'm serious. Don't ever touch my bag again.
Snatched it out of my hand. I was like, stay the hell out of my bag. So I didn't say anything. I never thought that he was per se hiding something, but there's definitely other stuff in the bag. Knowing what I know now, it probably would have been some tools, masks, gloves. I mean, it was the whole starter kit. After he got caught, that jacket proved to be evidence. It was time for my brother to go back to the halfway house. He wanted to get a ride with my uncle to save a little bit on the bus fare, so my uncle volunteered to take him.
Hello?
My uncle called back and was like, Travis, where's your mom? I gotta talk to her.
Yeah, hold on. Mom, it's for you.
I gave her the phone, and she was like, what? All I heard was, what?
And where did he go? Okay, bye.
And she hung up the phone, and I said, Mom, what's going on? She said, that was your uncle. He just told me that he dropped him off on the side of the road in Richmond. I guess at some point during their travels, my brother requested to get dropped off on the side of the highway. And my mom asked, was there anything around there? And he was like, there's a mall across the street, so maybe he went to the mall. She asked me, what do you think it means? I was like, I have no idea. And then, come to find out, years later after he got executed, he was using the malls to case potential victims. I didn't know that then. I just thought that he did not want to go to the halfway house. My mom and I had a routine. The day I found out, something was wrong. I knew it, I could feel it, because she was home early. I go up the stairs and I see my mom in the room and she's crying, and I see a newspaper. And I asked my mom, I said, Mom, what's wrong? And she was crying, she couldn't stop crying.
Okay?
It was kind of an eerie feeling, and I knew that something big was going on. I just didn't know what it was. So I looked at the newspaper and I saw Timothy Wilson Spencer arrested for capital murder. sitting beside my mom. I hugged her and kissed her and said, "It is capital murder." And she just cried. She was devastated. I read the article 10 times. It didn't say how many victims. It just said brought up on capital punishment charges. I was in a daze. I couldn't really visually see my brother murdering somebody. I was feeling numb. I was feeling confused. And I had a lot of questions that didn't have a lot of answers at that time. I look at those pictures of the victims, and I was like, that was me. I was tied up just like they were. Only thing is, I'm here to talk about it. When I read the article, he was arrested for breaking and entering, rape, murder. They didn't have how many. And as the days went on, more and more information was leaked. It went from one, then it was another one, then it was another one, then it was another one, and it was another one, to the point where he's a serial killer. And I'm like, no, not my brother. And the only thing I could think of was, why? If he did it, why? And that's the first thing I asked him when he called.
Hello?
Travis.
Tim? What the hell is going on? You got us terrified over here.
I asked him, did you do these things that these people are accusing you of? And he said, no. I wanted to believe him 100%. And I was like, well, thank God you ain't do it, because if you did do that, I ain't gonna feel sorry for you, man. And then he went on to say, you remember, I was at home with y'all. And when he said that, my heart sunk a little bit because I felt like he did it. You wasn't home with us.
I don't remember you being home at all.
I said, well, if you was at home with us, what all we do? Saying you don't remember? No, I don't. Enlighten me. And he couldn't.
Come on, Travis.
Nah, man. I ain't saying nothing but the truth.
And I told him, if you walking around here killing people, you deserve everything that they're gonna give to you. I don't think he had a empathy button that allow you to feel for some other people. I just think he was missing that. My brother's method of entry were through small windows, preferably basement windows. Once he gained access into the house, he would sort out his victim. Some said that he waited in some closets for hours until the victims got home. And you think you're all alone and let you get real settled in, and then out of nowhere, bam, the surprise element hits. He would tie them up and throw them in the closet. It's reported that he would choke the victims to the point of unconscious, and then revive them, bring them back a little bit, and then start the whole process over again. You know, I look at those pictures of the victims, and I was like, that was me. I was tied up just like they were. Only thing is, I'm here to talk about it. These are two of his victims, Susan Helms and Debbie Davis. Looking at these pictures, it feel like they're alive for just this 1 second. They're smiling, and he took their smile away from them. For the families of the victims that were affected by this tragedy, I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, and I give you my most sincerest condolences, and I want you guys to know that I pray for you and I wish you nothing but the best. This picture is of my brother Timothy Wilson Spencer at the day he was being executed. And his sentence was electrocution. He never admitted to the crimes, but he left semen and bodily fluids at the crime scene that he didn't think would lead to his arrest. First person in the United States convicted of murder through DNA. It's nice and sunny. It's a beautiful day. And we couldn't believe that this was going to be the last day that my brother was here on this earth. And I get inside the death chambers and I asked him face to face, was there anything I could have did? You know, better, so he wouldn't be in this situation. And I asked him, he said no. And I said, do you have any requests that you want me to carry through? He said, yeah, I want you to make sure Grandma all right. Take care, Mom. Take care, Mom. And for you, my brothers, just keep doing the right thing. I'll look out after you. Bless you. And I told him I would do that. And I told him that I loved him. Told me he loved me. We got one last hug as a family. I had to pry my mom from him. She was holding on tight. She said, I don't want to let go of my baby. I don't want to let him go. If I let him go, they're going to kill him. Never heard anybody scream like that or cry like that. This is my photo album. All my pictures from basketball. All the hopes and dreams of going to play professional basketball was pretty much out the window. A lot of coaches stopped showing interest. I had to start all over. I went to school and I just felt like it was nowhere for me to go, so I started working.
So far, so good? Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm having a good time too.
I got into stand-up comedy. I've been in the comedy business for 22 years now and run 3 rooms in Virginia.
So they do one show. And comedy
is what got me through everything. If it wasn't for laughter, I don't know where I would be today.
Thank you, College Park driver.
I love to see people laugh. I love to hear laughter and make somebody happy. After that long, dark ride, I try to pick up the positive things that he inspired me to do, and I try to do it to the best of my ability. He told me to just do the right thing. And I think I've held my end of the deal. I think I'm moving in the right direction.